In the Philippines, a myth persists that there's a right way to speak English. It's the standard in job interviews and boardrooms, usually meaning you sound American or British. Filipino accents are erased, as if they're mistakes. This belief has shaped our society, creating invisible barriers for talented people. Skills and intelligence are overlooked. Accent becomes the measure of worth. Call centers spend millions on accent neutralization. Schools correct Filipino English, and hiring managers favor foreign-sounding candidates. This cycle reinforces the idea that foreign is better, telling young Filipinos to shed their identity to succeed. The result? Insecurity, stifled creativity, and a focus on pronunciation over substance. We forget that English is a global language with many accents and forms, including ours. The Philippines is one of its largest homes, yet we're made to feel like outsiders in our own language. But this world was about to be challenged. A young girl from an unexpected place would step onto a stage. She wouldn't try to sound American or British, she would sound Filipino. And in doing so, she'd speak for millions told their voices weren't enough. Her story reminds us, the most powerful voice is the one that's true. The myth of the wrong English was about to be shattered. Maria Santos grew up in Tondo, where dreams often take a backseat to survival. Her father drove a jeepney, her mother sold fish, education was their only inheritance. Maria devoured books, using English as a window to the world, not a status symbol. She read aloud to her siblings, her accent shaped by her family and neighborhood. In school, she was mocked for her Carabao English, but instead of hiding, she embraced it. Her accent was her story, her family, her roots. She focused on clarity and confidence, not imitation. She practiced daily news on the radio, tongue twisters, essays in the mirror. Her goal was empowerment, not erasure. She wanted her words to matter more than her accent. Maria was preparing for a battle she didn't yet know awaited her. Maria's chance came from a crumpled flyer, the Global English Language Championship in London. Competing meant facing students from elite schools and English-speaking countries. Her teacher, Mrs. Reyes, saw Maria's potential and refused to let her miss this opportunity. The costs were daunting: application fees, airfare, visas. Some classmates scoffed at the idea of a girl from Tondo representing the Philippines. But Mrs. Reyes launched a Piso for Maria campaign, rallying the community. Market vendors, jeepney drivers, and neighbors chipped in, peso by peso. Each donation was a vote of confidence. With funds trickling in, training began. Mrs. Reyes became Maria's coach, meeting after school to hone debate and public speaking skills. They didn't try to change Maria's accent. They made it her strength. Filipino storytelling traditions shaped her speeches, making them personal and compelling. The training was tough, but Maria never complained. She carried her community's hopes with pride. Every practice was a step closer to the world stage. Maria was ready to prove that her voice, and her accent, belonged. The journey to London was more than a trip. It was a statement. She was going not just for herself, but for everyone who'd ever been told they didn't sound right. The world was about to hear a new kind of English. Stepping into London, Maria felt the weight of being an outsider. Surrounded by polished students from wealthy countries, she clutched her worn suitcase, feeling small. At the opening ceremony, her public school background drew polite surprise and quiet condescension. She was seen as a feel-good story, not a real contender. Doubt crept in, echoing old taunts about her accent. But Maria remembered her family, Mrs. Reyes, and the coins from her community. She realized she wasn't just representing herself, she was carrying their dreams. That gave her strength. Her fear didn't vanish, but her resolve grew. She straightened her shoulders and rejoined the crowd. She wasn't there to fit in, she was there to stand out. Her voice, her story, her perspective were her power. Maria was ready to be heard, not to imitate. The underdog was about to surprise everyone. Authenticity would be her edge. The competition was fierce, debates on economics, policy, and identity. Maria's first opponent spoke flawless Queen's English. When Maria spoke, her Filipino accent stood out, but so did her clarity and conviction. She didn't just argue, she told stories, drawing from her life and Filipino tradition. Her father's jeepney became a symbol in her arguments, making global issues personal. Judges, initially surprised, soon leaned in, captivated by her style. Her accent wasn't a barrier. It was the music of her message. As she advanced, a buzz grew. The girl from the Philippines was a contender. Peers who once dismissed her now watched her debates, impressed by her authenticity. They saw her English wasn't lesser, just different and powerful. In the semi-finals, she faced an American who argued for standardized English. Maria countered with the beauty of diversity, likening English to a river fed by many tributaries. Her Filipino English, she said, was one of those vital streams. To silence it would diminish the river itself. The judges were visibly moved. She won not by being louder, but by being true. Maria was redefining what a champion could sound like. Her voice was changing minds and hearts. The final round, a packed auditorium, the world watching. The topic: why does your voice matter? Maria's opponent delivered a flawless, impersonal speech. Maria stepped into the spotlight and began with a story. In my country, we say, ang hindi lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa paroroonan. She spoke of her father's jeepney, her mother's market calls, her accent as a map of her identity. My voice matters because it carries the stories of millions who are unheard. We master a foreign tongue not to forget who we are, but to tell the world who we are. The room was silent, then erupted in applause. The judges, moved, announced, "The winner is Maria Santos from the Philippines." Maria stood in shock, then tears of joy streamed down her face. Her victory was more than a trophy. It was validation for every Filipino voice. The myth of the wrong English was broken. Live on the world stage. Maria's story had become everyone's. Maria's win became a national celebration. Her face was everywhere, her speech replayed across the country. Filipino English became a badge of honor, not a punchline. The BPO industry began valuing clear, authentic communication over fake accents. Universities studied and celebrated Philippine English as a world language. The myth of the wrong English crumbled. Inspired by Maria, students spoke with new confidence. More public school kids joined and won competitions. Maria traveled the country, championing education and authentic voices. She inspired reforms and a new definition of excellence. Today, Filipino English is seen as a strength, not a flaw. Maria's journey proved authenticity is more powerful than imitation. Our voice is our strength, and it's finally being heard.